Hi, this is Chico Resch. You are listening to the Let's Go Devils podcast on the Primetime Radio Network.
Happy Devils Saturday. This is Game Day Live, coming to you live from the Primetime Radio studios in the bunker in an undisclosed location in New Jersey. I bet you I bet you want to know where the bunker is. Wrong answer. You'll never know. And Vinnie Parise, somewhere in Chicago, Illinois, streaming live on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Twitter Live, and Twitch on the Let's Go Devils Network, as the Devils are going to take on the Florida Panthers tonight in Sunrise. I've circled this game on the calendar a couple months ago because, the crybaby Matthew Tkachuk is so offended by Nico Hischier, who is not even a dirty player, that just accidentally hit Barkov, the captain, in the knee. Even Barkov said it was just a freak thing and just an accident, nothing, ill will or whatever. So expect some artificial infuriation tonight, Vinny, in Sunrise, where the mice run around.
Yeah, it worries me a little bit, too, because the Devils aren't the toughest team out there right now. They don't have a player like Matthew Tkachuk. People talk about, some of the line shuffling that the Devils have done over the last couple days. Well, they put Timo Meier on the third line. It makes me wonder a little bit if they always have, like, a tough guy available. By their standards, a tough guy. The Devils don't have too many tough guys, but Timo Meier's a big body. Nobody's really pushing him around too often. I don't know. It's definitely an interesting situation because that Florida game, it was a long time ago now. That feels like forever ago. But some players don't forget they've, been to the All-Star game, the Tkachuks, with Jack Hughes. And I don't know, Brady might have been the reason Jack missed some time. The play that he made during the All-Star game itself, the 3-on-3. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see. Florida has a lot bigger things to worry about than getting retaliation on Nico Hischier or any of the New Jersey Devils players. They are sitting in a very interesting spot that they don't want to be in, a spot that they wouldn't have wanted to be in at the beginning of the season. They're 3 points back of a playoff spot. They do have 2 games in hand over the New York Islanders. So if they were to win both of those 2 games in hand, they would be the team in the postseason. They're still very much in the mix, but it's going to be tough. It's going to be a hard road for them, and taking dumb penalties, doing anything you can to motivate the New Jersey Devils isn't the recipe for success. So there are all sorts of ways to look at this game when it comes to the events of the most recent time that these two matched up, but the Devils have more important things as well. They could be in first place at the end of the night if all things go their way. The Carolina Hurricanes have a game against the Philadelphia Flyers that they're currently winning 1-0, but if the Flyers somehow pull off a victory there, the Devils could be in first place. So, and the Devils want to keep pace ahead of the Rangers too. You don't want to go to Madison Square Garden in the first round, right? So we'll see what happens.
Vinny, that's some big speculation there. That Brady Tkachuk, Matt's brother, that horse collar play that he did to Jack Hughes at All-Star, causing an injury. I'm not sure about that, but you know what? I'm going to artificially infuriate myself and believe what you just said. Because I think I'm just kidding around, Vinny.
He took him down.
He did.
And then the next game after, they were playing Vancouver, and I think Jack would have to be taken off on a stretcher to miss a game against Quinn.
Yeah.
And then he missed the next 3 games after that.
4 games.
So,
yeah.
I'm just saying,
yeah.
Allegedly.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It's okay to, artificially infuriate yourself. Because I think last time with Tkachuk and Nico, if there's any instigation penalty that should have been called, should have been. I forgot what the penalty was, but he was just instigating the entire time. And you know how the NHL is against the Devils. It's okay. Yeah.
It seems that way.
Yeah, just like goalie interference. Excuse me. If the Devils just touch the goalie just like that, I'm doing on the screen. Oh yeah, goalie interference, and then you see Schmidt gets bowled over, no call.
Yeah. Or if you're watching the Wild play the Blues and you see Marc-Andre Fleury or Jordan Binnington get crashed into, but the puck finds its way into the net, they call it a goal.
Yeah,
I'm like, really?
yeah.
Really?
But anyway, enough of that. Fun talk. In all seriousness, I like the lines tonight. I love the lines tonight. And let's go over the lines tonight because it's pretty. I'm gonna look it up. Obviously, the first line, the Mercer, Tatar, Heischer line, that totally makes sense because that's been the line, the go-to line for I would say perhaps the last 3 weeks. You would say,
Yep.
okay,
Probably longer.
yeah, maybe longer. I was thinking of using the word last or the last month. Let's say the last month they've been hot. And then let's see here. I'm sorry, I'm just going through. And then the second line of Hughes, Bratt, love the combo, and Palat, love that. You put the $6 million a year man on that line with the two pillars of this franchise, Bratt and Hughes. But the third line, you put Holla with Meyer and Boquist has shown us that he can play, especially when he plays aggressively, and he's on fire. Boquist, and then the fourth line because of injuries, you have Lazar. It's the depth line at this point. It's Sharon Govich and Lazar on the wings, and Mikey McLeod, who's apparently one of the greatest face-off men of this year. I mean, those are four solid lines. It's so balanced, Vinny.
Yeah, I agree. And one thing, I've heard this for a while now. When you're building NHL lines, you like to see a pair and then a third guy. And very few people have a line like the perfection line in Boston, where it was Pasternak, Bergeron, and Marchand. But there's a reason once they broke them up, they became like the greatest team ever. And sometimes you can have two stacked of a line because there's only one puck. I know that's a cliche, but it's nice to have two guys who are like the skill guys. They're a pair. And then you throw a guy on the line that can win faceoffs, win board battles, go to the front of the net, reach the dirty areas. You could pick out that person on each line the way it's set up here. Heischer and Mercer Heischer's a jack of all trades, but Heischer and Mercer are your like skilled go-to guys. Tatar's got a nice shot, but he'll win board battles and get to the dirty area, stand in front of the net, do what he's got to do. He's a veteran. Hughes and Bratt, about the magic they can make. And then Andre Palat is a veteran. He'll go to the front of the net, win a hard board battle, take a hit to make a play. Same thing on the third line. They move down Meyer. Meyer's, in my opinion, the third best forward on the team. You put him with Boquist, who Boquist might have the silkiest mitts on the team besides Jack Hughes. And you put those two together. Hall is the veteran in the middle, do all the same things I talked about with Tatar and Palat. And then the fourth line has a lot of meat and potatoes on it, but Sharon Govich is a very skilled player. McLeod's third in the league in faceoffs. And Lazar is a veteran who's been there, done that. So, I don't hate the forward groups today. And one thing I always say every time people freak out over line combinations, they're not permanent. It's not like in baseball when you submit a starting lineup, you can't change the order. It's not like that in hockey. You can play whoever you want, whenever you want, with whoever they want. As long as they're on the lineup card to start the game, it doesn't matter. If the Meyer-Holla-Boquist line gets hemmed in their zone for the first 4 shifts of their game, 0 shots on goal, give up a goal, take a penalty, you can break it up. It doesn't matter. Or they could go out there, be on fire. Every line looks good to start the game, and you have an Olympian on every line. This is a New Jersey Devils team with 95 points. Okay, they'll have 100 by the start of April. So, I don't know. I can't find myself to get too angry about these things. I actually like mixing it up and seeing what works, see what doesn't work. So that way, on April 13th or whatever it is, when you're either hosting the top wild card team, that would probably be the Pittsburgh Penguins, I would assume, or you're hosting the New York Rangers. Those are the two likely first round opponents for the Devils, the Penguins or the Rangers. And that by then, you'll know what works, you'll know what doesn't, you'll have a game plan going into that series. Yeah. This Florida Panthers team, they're desperate. You want your lines at their best. I think this is a good way to balance it out, at least to start.
I agree. Vinny, I think, again, it's going to be a battle this weekend. I mean, Tampa is already a handful, but playing Florida, it's, again, I go back to that previous couple games with Florida, and they were pretty rough on Heischer. Now I'm kind of interested to see how the Devils will respond, because remember at the time they didn't really respond. They just let the captain get hurt or get hit. Sorry, used the wrong choice of words. To get hit.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the defense pairs. There's going to be a big boy on the ice every time Heischer's out there. Okay? If someone messes with Heischer, you will have one of Smith, Graves, or Siegenthaler out there. Dougie Hamilton's a big boy too, but I don't necessarily think of him as like he's a big boy, but he's not a big boy, like a tough boy.
I don't think he should be the enforcer. He's your $9 million guy. So
yeah, second on your team in scoring. It'll be him or Heischer second on the team in scoring by the end of the year. Yeah, I don't know. And then Heischer's out there with Tatar and Mercer. Mercer's been known to be a little scrappy. He's got a little bit of feistiness in him. And then who knows what the lines look like by the end of the game. If things get pretty chippy out there, it wouldn't shock me at all if Meyer sees a couple shifts with Heischer. Just because, I'm not calling Meyer an enforcer or anything like that, but I would be less inclined to take a cheap shot at Heischer if Meyer was out there than I would if Tatar and Mercer were. So, I don't know. There's all sorts of speculation based on a game from a couple months ago. But the Devils should focus on putting their skill game together and getting a big win in Sunrise, Florida.
Yeah.
Sunshine. Doesn't sunshine sound nice, Sam? It's freaking snowing again.
Is it really? It's 50 degrees here at the
snowing.
bunker.
Yeah, must be nice.
Well, Max says skin the cats in the YouTube live. Steve Engel, he's already putting in his predictions. He's saying 5-3 Devils tonight, but losing to the Lightning tomorrow night. Steve Engel. Oh, Steve Engel, I just want to let you know, I will be at American Whiskey next Saturday at this time. I will actually be on Game Day Live at American Whiskey with Vinnie.
That'll be fun.
He asked the other day. He asked the other day, and I didn't know my schedule, so I will be there.
Don't you wish it was just as easy as like hopping on a quick flight, going there, like no travel issues, or and then coming home right away? That just would be so
Vinny.
nice.
You know what we should do? We should experiment one day with you, but you're gonna have to be the guinea pig on it. We'll have to find you a cheap flight from Chicago to Newark, round trip, same day. I think it could work.
Yeah.
It would definitely work.
Oh, yeah.
A 3 p.m. game. I mean, you're only in the Midwest. Was it a 2-hour flight?
Yeah, 2-hour flight. My brother Joey took a flight. Well, we drove, but he took a flight when we came out in early December, and it was only like a 2-hour, 20-minute flight. I'm also not opposed to, taking a 2 a.m. flight out. I don't sleep as it is. Those of you who follow me on Twitter know I don't go to bed. Like I wouldn't offend me at all to, fly out there at 11 or noon, get there in time for the game, and then go home after the game at, 2, 3 in the morning.
You know what? You got to do that for the playoffs. Just one time. We'll have to figure it out. I don't know how it's going to work.
That would be fun.
That would be because I always had the dream of retiring in Florida. And I go to Orlando Airport. I take a 2-hour flight. It's a 2.5-hour flight from Orlando Airport to Newark. And then there is a way, public transportation, to go from the airport to the arena. I don't know how that route is, but someone texted me the other day saying that you can actually take a train or some kind of the monorail. I don't know. From there to Newark Penn Station or the light rail, either or.
Yeah.
So that would be cool.
Yeah, that would
Vinny.
be fun. I would love to do something like that. Maybe we'll get the ship rolling on that depending on when they play. The problem with the playoffs, you never, like, the schedules come out like a day or two beforehand. Yeah. Like the Devils, they could be playing the first day, they could be playing the second day. It could depend on whether or not they're playing Pittsburgh or New York. They'll probably be at home in the first round no matter what, knock on wood. But yeah, it's tough.
Well, you know what? The problem with playoffs, like you said, is the schedule. Also, the problem with playoffs is never plan a wedding between April and June because it'll bite you in the butt. Like one of my friends that during the Stanley Cup Finals, I think it was either game 5 couldn't attend because that was the 20-year anniversary or something like that. Can you believe that?
Tough.
That's rough.
That will not be happening for me in my life.
But when the pandemic happened, when the Stanley Cup Finals was in September, like, what do you do then?
Yeah. Then you can't get mad at anyone. But yeah, I have a bachelor party to go to in early June. I'm like, if the Devils make it to the Stanley Cup Final, your boy's going to be covering the Devils on the road.
I say skip the wedding, Vinny. No, I'm kidding. Just joking. Just joking. Although I'm actually, I actually have this saved the date in early October. I'm like, just please, the NHL, just don't move up the schedule an extra week and have opening night on that Saturday. Like, please.
Yeah.
You ever run into that? It's like, it's terrible. It's terrible.
That's literally my life.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you're at the age right now that everybody's getting married, I'm assuming,
Yeah. 6 total in 2023.
Oh.
Yeah.
You're going to have to take you got to go to a loan shark for some money for all those gifts.
Yeah, and that doesn't count the one on New Year's Eve that counted for 2022's slate, which was like 3 or 4.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Right when the Devils are starting to get good.
Yeah, I know. It just always seems to happen that way, right, Vinny? It's just like, now they're good.
Yeah. I mean, I would take it. I would take them being good anytime. So,
yeah. One question Judy has: are they going to do 84 games next year? I remember hearing.
I have not heard that being set in stone. I know it's been rumored for a while because I'm pretty sure if the logic behind it was if you expand to 84, you can have there was a reason for it. If you expand to 84, you can play every team in the opposite but same conference division twice in each rink. I don't remember the exact thing. There was a reason that 84 made sense. It like evened something out in terms of scheduling balances. But
Eric,
to me,
go ahead.
I was just going to say, to me, that stuff that's splitting hairs, in my opinion. But
yeah, Eric says the monorail to the Newark Liberty Station, then right to Newark Penn. I've done it. It's pretty simple. So you can do it. That
right.
from Newark Airport. And by the way, you could trust the monorail because my dad helped build that years ago.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
So if it actually breaks down on the way, don't blame me. That's my dad.
Yeah, we'll blame him.
Yeah. Anyway, we should get to predictions, shouldn't we?
Predictions. Yes. I am always bullish when you play, these great teams. It's hard. I have not picked the Devils to lose yet this season. I've been right 44 times. I've gotten this final score right once. Almost had it twice, but you talked me out of it. I think the Devils are going to win. They play incredible on the road. They're the best road team in the NHL, and that includes the Bruins. I'm going to say the Devils beat the Florida Panthers 5-3.
5-3. I'm going 4-2 Devils. On the Facebook Live, I see Christopher saying 4-3 overtime win Devils. And also Michael Hay in the Facebook Live says 4-2 Devils win. Copycat. Michael Hay. Just kidding, Michael. Actually, I probably copied you because you typed it in before I said it. Also, Eric says 4-2 Devils tonight. Like that. Matthias, 5-2 Devils. Max is 5-2 Devils. Oh, my goodness, says 3-1 Devils. Joseph Lenham says 4-3 Devils. Let's see here. What else here? I see some other. Max is 5-2 Devils. Selective Boy says 4-2 Devils, hopefully. Steve Engel says 5-3 Devils, but losing to Lightning tomorrow. What else? Judy says 7-3 after the first period. Wow. Morgan Williams says 6-1 Devils W. Very interesting.
I think that one prediction, they were up. Florida was up 7-3 after the first period in their most recent game. So the Devils would be flipping the script there.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Whoops. I thought that was a prediction
The Devils,
because I was just going down the line.
Yeah, that kind of I forgot about that.
Yeah.
You got to contain Florida today. They were feeling good in their most recent game. They did end up giving up 5 though. Yep. They got up big early and then they kind of coasted to the end of the game and didn't look as good in the later half. So
yeah, Felix says 3-0 Devils, and Ramona Rice makes me feel really good because she said 4-2 Devils, Sam. And if Ramona says 4-2 Devils, it's probably going to be 4-2 Devils. Don't trust my prediction. Ramona has been like dead on this year. I think she's like the prediction wizard of Game Day Live.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've acknowledged that all season long. Hopefully it continues today.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was against Montreal when they put up 7 goals in the first period, right? It was like a football game.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And the Devils, if I remember correctly, were able to score some goals on Montreal this season too, but also had some tough games against them. So,
yeah,
it'll be interesting to see how this one goes. Every game's different, though.
Yeah. Nicholas says Schmid for Prez. Interesting. Christopher on the Facebook Live.
I don't think that's legal, but
who cares? We'll get away with it. 4-3 Devils win in overtime. Christopher Ray Patton in the Facebook Live. And Ramona's now saying that she likes the 3-0 score by Felix. Very nice score.
Oh. Yeah.
Very nice.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
It would mean Schmid played a great game because I do think Florida's got some good firepower. So if he has a good game, that'll be important.
I say if Schmid gets the shutout, he should play Sunday.
Ooh.
I'm telling you, you got to hold goalies accountable. And Schmid he played, very well on Thursday. Made that tremendous save. He's been on his A game. Not so much Vitek Vanacek, been very inconsistent as of late. Ramona says she's betting. Oh, I'm betting Sam. Okay. All right. So, For all those that are in the YouTube Live, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, Let's Go Devils. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. On Facebook, at Let's Go Devils Podcast, and also on Twitter, at Let's Go Devils Pod. Follow us on Twitter as well. A lot of good tweets going on this past week, Vinnie. And if you want to follow Vinnie Parise, it's at Vinnie Parise. Or if you want to follow me on Twitter, at Primetime Sam Wu, where I give my 2 cents of what's going on during the game. That's always fun. Usually brings out all the trolls. But, hey, if you want to hear my opinion, you can follow me on Twitter, at Primetime Sam Wu. Vinnie, I think that's about it. The game's about to start.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. Hopefully everybody enjoys the game today. And I know you're going to say it, but I'll say it too. Let's go Devils.
Yeah. And you know what? We'll be back. Devils After Dark with Scotty of Sirius XM Liquid Metal. Devils After Dark after the game. We'll recap the game that was. And also we'll be back tomorrow live, Game Day Live, before the Devils take on the Tampa Bay Lightning down at Amalie Arena. I know Andrew of the Sandbar Sports Grill in Cocoa Beach, Florida will be there. Many memories there, Vinny. I want to go back. But anyway, enjoy the game, everybody. Hopefully Tkachuk gets his butt kicked in. Till next time, let's go Devils.